So this is patient 1-06, cohort 2, phase 1, visit 5 on the 19th of the 5th, 2023 at 3:20 p.m. This is the study interview with videotaping. So, question 1. Overall, how would you describe your experience participating in the trial?
Well, very positive. Do you want me to elaborate on individual?
If you'd like to, you can.
Well, after, first of all, the whole atmosphere and the thoroughness of all the testing and the trials was commendable. You know, very, very impressive to me because of the thoroughness of it all, both at the Royal Adelaide Hospital, but also the low vision tests here were outstanding, and I've never seen anything like it before. And because they very clearly understand the issues confronting people with low vision, that the tests are designed for low vision, and I think that's impressive because I've never seen it before in Australia. It's always not quite fully understood. 3 days, I had the injection on the 20th of April, and I went home 3 days later. And the example I've given most to people is that in my last few months and years of the vision, it's been deteriorating fairly rapidly. And it's like a dimmer switch is being turned down and the rooms were getting darker, and even wherever I went, going into areas that be like going into a cave. In my living room, there's 2 lights in the ceiling, cluster lights, and I'd have to look to find one, and then look to find the other. That's how restricted the vision was getting. And when I sat down 3 days after the injection, I looked up and I could see them both quite clearly, and with better illumination within the room, where without real definition, but I could see a dark wood table and the white wall. That was from one end of the room, and when I stood up and went to the entry to the room, I could look down and see both lights in the ceiling and the standard lamp quite well. And the other thing that was very impressive, at the foyer where you come into my unit, it's quite a small area, but again, I thought the light was getting dimmer and dimmer, and I'd have to look up and find to see whether I could see the light. Is it turned on even? And then when I said, I thought, oh, it needs to be made stronger. Well, again, 3 days after the injection, it was like the whole area is floodlit. The light was, without me having to look, I could see the light in the ceiling. And it was just like the whole little area is floodlit. And I could even see from the kitchen, I could see the glow from that foyer area. So that was the most striking impressions I got. When the second one, I don't normally watch television. It's got to the point with television's quite blurry, and it's just, I listen to it just to keep in touch with everything. Well, I could start to see forms on the television and even hands moving. So a white hand against a darker body. I hadn't seen that for a couple of years, and that was impressive. And then I think there was an increased, and it's very hard to define because it's so subjective, an increased capacity in a room to see the awareness of objects in the room, but without, it's very hard to be definitive there. Going into a bank where the carpet was dark and it was generally getting darker and darker, and people were starting to assist me to get to the cash counter. I could walk in and find the counter without assistance. Now that worked quite well, and now we're at almost a month, at 1 day short of the 20th. I do notice all that impact's diminishing.
Okay.
And the lights, I have to look a little bit with effort to see the lights in the living room, but I can still see them. They're still there and visible easily as against what it was before. Now, that'd be the best examples I can give of the impact, because I was in a familiar surrounding and I knew exactly what I was experiencing before.
Yeah. Thank you, Cameron.
That's it.
Would you, this question might be asking things that you've just already answered, but I'll ask it anyway.
Yes.
Would you say that your functional vision has changed over the course of the trial? This might include improvement or worsening in navigating or object identification?
No, it's improved, as I've described.
Yep.
And I said now, starting to notice that slight diminution
yes.
of that capacity. One thing it didn't seem to do, it didn't and I didn't expect it to improve acuity.
Yes.
So the sharpness of vision, it wasn't really noticeable, except that because you could see more, like objects, you'd be far more aware of them before.
Yes. So you're saying it was brighter, but it wasn't clearer.
Yeah, that's right. The actual acuity didn't improve for me.
Yes.
And another example, just near the television, is a little coffee table with a wide edge. Well, before the treatment, I just couldn't see it. I'd have to feel my way to the chair beside it.
Yes.
Well, I can see the coffee table now.
Oh, amazing,
again,
Cameron.
not with acuity, but I can see it as an object.
Yep. If this therapy was offered as a once-a-month injection, would you feel it would be worth it?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Have you or anybody close to you felt that your sense of vision has changed over the course of the therapy? You've obviously